This is Gerald Jonas. One of the most impossible things to do is imagining word with letters that are all related with the most difficult category of framing the letters into a certain position where they have a certain function, where they are of that third category. I have three categories in my letters of kinds of focuses that you can use. It's very easy to use something which is very steady and which has a form, and that's it. If you follow the directions and you say, okay, yeah, it's going that direction, that's still easy to follow. But making a pattern that is going to be used or can be used in different places at the same time, in different options, in different different values, in different strengths, but with a certain formula that can be repeated and so on. That kind of focuses are a bit more difficult, but they are even more difficult if you use more of these focuses together. So like in the word horse, so trying to make a form from horse is a challenge, also a challenge for me, because when you look into my system in which kind of category you have a focus, you have the H in the third category, the R in the third category, the S in the third category, and the other two are about timing. So almost sure it is about something that depends on something. It's a pattern that should fit somewhere in time and space, but it's also moving. So it is. That's why I also say don't ever forget the hopping of the horse if you want to realize the horse, because there it will be about some pattern that can be repeated. Is this that horse? There definitely is something with movement there. Okay, let's try to have that horse into a form. Now the form is, of course, when we realize a form, we all think about a steady place. Try to have it as steady as possible and to have really a form that is not moving. That's more easy. Okay, well, let's try to find also already the foundation of the not moving thing, that you have an object with which you can do some movement. So let's try that. And okay, it looks a bit difficult here, but I have the H is a certain range. It is in the third category. It's a range within the, let's say also, if I compare it to three dimensions, I look at it from the third dimension downwards, and I try to see a form. This form is a little bit smaller here. It's not the full thing. It's somewhere here in the middle where all the material lies. This material, there is where that H will be, but it's framing. So it should. So that's why I also have this number 3 is important, because the kind of focus, it is a helpful tool to have the number 3 in your mind, because 3 means it can be repeated, or you have to compare it, or you have to see, okay, but where does it fit best at this moment, at this time? So the space is not always at the same range. It's not always at the same range of space or time. That's that dependency. That's why I also have definitions in not just 1, 2, 3 dimensions, but also in the real counting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dimensions. So that means with the dependency in 3 dimensions of where it should be. And that's too complicated. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go into that direction, because it will be too difficult to make calculations like that. But it's that idea is important. It's from the 3 dimensions we see downward. Let's say it's spatial 3 dimensions, but we see downward, and actually the spatial frame in which it works and the timing frame in which this works is not fixed. So we have to find a formula where it will fit. But what this helpful tool in my theory says, okay, we have the verticals to decide. In between 2 verticals there will be the zone of my formula. And this should be able to be repeated in a way as well, because it's a pattern. It's in between a zone where it is livable, where we will have a smile. Yeah, it will be, it will show its life. So changing the H, H is comparable. Let's say it is a kind of bubble of air in which we have all the movements possible. Let's imagine it like that. That's best to imagine it. And it's that bubble or this sphere is in between a separate zone. So how well this range is, let's say in between this comparison from left to right, well, let's try to have it as a steady focus into just one zone alone, although this is a trick. Let's try that. Follow the theory. Let's have the H here. The H then into our three-dimensional focus. We have the focus downwards. We will have our area that we will try to find out in our three-dimensional vision. We have within the contextual changes where we could still move it left, right. Let's not do that. Let's have a pure geometrical range as focused and as steady as possible with our helping tool that says we just need 2 arrows down. It should be somewhere here in between these zones should be my focus. That's my starting point. Not an easy one. I just follow the rules here a little bit, and I don't follow many of them because there are many more rules, but I have some foundation. The H in three-dimensional, a focus on three-dimensional and with 2 focuses down. Okay, that's something that I can use geometrically. So what's my next stop? That's the O. The O is, where is it in the timing schedule in 2 dimensions? Oops, I don't have 3 dimensions. I have to narrow down to 2. So I go from 3 to 2. So I have these 2 H's and I have the 2 O. The O is from left to right. I have that one with the timing frame. Of course, there's the timing frame from left to right. So, but I can imagine it within 2 dimensions. So let's do it as simple as possible. I have my 2 H's focusing upon the O. So H, O, A, H, from H to O. So here I have a timing from start to finish. I can imagine that. So H, as a definition says, I have to find the right time. I have to find the right place where I can establish my pattern. I have already found one thing, the timing. Wow, I have, from my focus in 3 dimensions, I have found the timing. So H, O, I have found my timing. The next letter, again, the framing is framing from 3 positions. Again, we'll try to connect within also this zone, this middle zone. I will try to connect, and I connect the R to the O. This whole zone, even it's a bit a kind of a zone in which you have the R will connect from H to O to R. I have already more or less a form that is going to fit in, except that, yeah, it is from 3 zones to 2 zones. The R connects, where shall I connect? Left, right, left, right. I can't make a decision. But because the O is about differences, okay, I make also the decision. I have to count the differences. So from R to R, hor. So I have this movement already of the material. It will have to go that direction. That's already something that I know. Hor. Wow, I found already something geometrical. It's very limited what I do, but it is already one thing to fit. The S will, what will you do? Again, difficult thing. Within the zones of 3, I have the outer shell, so I'll put the outer shell, and this outer shell has to be connected. The connection points from R, if I connect all of them and I connect again and make an outer shell, what did I see there? I have funny enough, I have a form that is I can make very easily near to what my horse body will show. The only thing that is missing is within this whole range of the outer shell. The R is connected inwardly. I also connected outwardly, so I have that one as well. Horse is almost there with the S to it as well. In all its connections. And with E, I need the timing moment. I need the reflection. You have the outer shell reflection with S, and then you have the inner reflection which goes to the E here. And I have almost a running horse. But I will look into it a little bit better, because what I don't have is this hopping. It's not moving. It is. I have a form that more or less fits to the geometry of what I expect it to be. But H is not just a steady place. It's a place that should actually be like, okay, here it is. Here is the frame of what is viable, and here as well in the second part, and in the third part as well. So I have this idea almost of hopping there as well, which I should actually also be dealing with. And I have if this was about a steady place, then this hopping could be just once, and I have this range in which I have a whole range of where things can live. But if the second letter is about timing, then no, it doesn't stay here. Then you really have to have that hopping idea, because it goes from one region to the next region, and all the rest of these R's has to come along. I know already what to expect. Designing it as another thing, but I know that it's going to be related with time, because its O is related with time, and this. So I have this hop from one position to the next, which will hop with all of its relations with it. So it will also connect the R and the S's as well. So that's what I need to do. Not easy to design technically, but I know here the H with the O, with the connection from one thing to the other, I will be able to connect one hop to the next hop. The S's are already from one part. The top part for me it was so complicated that I very quickly put the zones there and the differences, but I'm not very good at it. With an end effect at the end, you have actually quite quickly a horse, but I'm so bad in these things. I wish I had this technicality. You can understand it if I say all these things, and I imagine it yourself. You have the hopping. We have the connection of the R. So the hopping, then the R, and then the S. In the end, you have something like the hopping from one thing to another, the O movement and the A movement. In the end, the R go move, and then the R's. The R will move it. Two sides to that one to that, two again to there, one to there. It is that rhythm is still visible there as well. And then the A at the end is just saying like, okay, it's about timing, and there's a point where you say, okay, here's the highlight, now I can repeat it. It's very roughly done. Sorry I couldn't do it better, but you should be able to understand what is there, and that the horse movement is actually also defined in it, almost designed in it. It's all only quite complicated to make moving parts and connect these moving parts well. But I think in what I'm explaining, it should be clear enough. Okay, I hope this was satisfying enough. If it was too rough and you think it was almost too amateuristic the way I designed it, ask me to do it again, and then I leave it aside for a while and I try to do that again. But then also technically correct. I'm not able to do that. I can explain it, but that's about it, and that's sad that I can't design it better. So sorry for that. Some books to prepare you, some Sound Informed webpage and Facebook page, and all of it. Just put a comment there if you like. If you want more links to older videos, go to soundinformed.com. Thanks again for watching. Bye.